I can only say it's just wonderful to be back home. Myself and Jack back home. He spent a couple of days in the kennels, which he didn't mind too much this time because he had a little friend in there with him, and he seemed a lot more relaxed about being in the kennels, only for a few days. But he's very happy to be home, and so am I. And the sun is shining, and the sky is still beautifully blue, and there's a jet. It must have crossed the Atlantic because it's up very, very high, and it's flying east. So it's either going to Dublin or London or one of the other big cities. Lots of leaves off the trees. A little bit of a wind here as well, which is lovely. Oh, I just leapt out of the car, went into the house, put the electric kettle on, which I rarely do because normally I have the stove lit and I have lots of boiling water. But I put the electric kettle on, made a pot of coffee, poured it, and then went down to the pond. And yippee, it's still flowing. It's wonderful. So the boot of the car is still open because obviously I've got to unpack it. I brought a few bags into the house, so I must just close it up for the time being. And I was in such a hurry to get to the kennels, I didn't stop at any shops, and I do have to go into town and get a few bits and bobs, as they say. So I shall be doing that later on, I think. Today is a bank holiday here in Ireland, and of course we have lots and lots of holidays. We Irish like our holidays, okay? And of course bank holidays are all paid holidays as well, which is lovely. And I think I've said before that I feel it really boosts the economy because people really use the day to get out and just enjoy the day with family and friends, and they'll go out for dinner and they'll go out to parks or, you know, travel to see their families. If they're working in Dublin, they'll travel home for the long weekend to spend time with their families. So I think it's very good for the economy, the local economy. Now, Jack stood down there as if to say, come on, let's walk. But before I go down that way, I just want to show you over here. You can see there's a beautiful bareness now to the trees. Not quite finished shedding their leaves, but getting there. And soon there'll be a lot of light around the cottage, and it'll be possible to see the moon rising, and it'll be possible to see the sun rising. So there'll be a lot more light, which of course is a great balancing act for this time of the year, because the hour's gone on the clock, so we have darker evenings now. And while I've been away, look, the little shaggy and cat mushrooms have continued to flourish. But look at all the beautiful cotoneaster here. It's shed all its leaves, and now there's these beautiful bright red stems. They're lovely. And those colours deepen as the winter sets in. Of course, winter sets in on Friday, I think it is, isn't it? No. What date is it today? The 28th. Tomorrow's the 29th. So Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Friday, the 1st of November. Oh, that sounded like a little bee around my ear there. You do get little straggler bees. And if the winter isn't too harsh, even, you know, in the end of November, sometimes even December, you might get the occasional bee. They're usually a bit confused, a bit sort of drunk. as they flit about. Anyway, we'll go down and have a look at the pond. Let's just show you the little shaggy ink cap here. And then there's another little one coming up beside it. Can you see? And you can see why they're called shaggy ink cap. That looks like a little tree there as well. I think yeah, it's a little tree. So tomorrow's my birthday. Please, please, please try not to send me emails because I think I've been targeted recently following that following that email that I got accusing me of being a Kardashian. Thank you very much. Love that. But following that email, or that comment rather, I have been absolutely drowning in emails. It seems as though some disturbed person has subscribed me up to every bit of internet crap there is going. So the settings now on my junk mail are very, very high. So unless the email is coming from PayPal or coming from a known family member of mine, everything's going into junk mail, and I'm not even bothering to open up the junk mail. I'm just emptying it because I don't want to see all these disturbing emails. You know, it's just, I just don't want to go there. I'm just totally ignoring it. So if you would be so kind as to not send me any emails, because I'm not getting them anyway. Like I say, the only emails coming through are from PayPal or any other official source, you know, which is verified. Oh, you can see the crow's nest now up in that field maple. That was the nest that they were building back in, I think it was April. Beautiful colours. And you can also see what looks like a crow's nest at the top of that tree as well, where that dark spot is. So tomorrow's my birthday. I shall be 64. That's the 29th. It's Tuesday. So Wednesday is the 30th. Thursday is the 31st, which is Samhain. And then Friday is the 1st of November. Of course, Samhain runs from sunset on the 31st through to the 1st of November. But that's going on the regular calendar. And as I've said before, the Celtic celebrations can be celebrated on the occasion of the new moon rising or the full moon. The full moon is usually a really good time to celebrate because, bar having a lot of cloud cover, you have the light, the illumination. On the other hand, the new moon is a wonderful time for setting intentions. So I'm inclined to favour the new moon round about Immock, because that of course is the first day of spring, and I think that's a great time to set intentions. Jack's just down there by the gate. We'll have a look at this pond now. So, it's flowing, it's still flowing. I don't think it's rained while I've been away, so we've had quite a dry weekend, but look at this. The pond is flowing really well. So the stream bed is full, and this looks to be an engineering success. So I'll be getting on my old clothes and my wellies, and coming down here and doing a little bit more work now for the afternoon, for the late afternoon. I won't bother going into the shops until it's dark, as I wouldn't waste the daylight hours. And that's the important thing about transiting into this time of the year, you know, is to be more organised and try not to waste the daylight hours. More lovely colours. You see the willow up there has lost all its leaves, but now stands very silvery against the sky. And before I left on Friday to go up to Belfast, because I left in the evening quite late, again I just didn't want to waste any of the daylight at all, so I brought the little hand mower down here and I gave what I hope will be the last cut to the little garden going along the roadside. I didn't use the grass box, so it means all the leaves are there to decay down, biodegrade down onto the grass and feed it, and feed the plants. So you can see that's all ready now for the winter. Come on, Jack. The old fence here now I think will be falling down over the course of the winter, but I don't need it now because I've got all the plants in place. Amazing to see little bits of geranium still flowering. That's quite amazing, but not unusual. Put my hand into the post box and say no, I don't think there'll be any post because today's the bank holiday, so the postman is having his time off as well. And Spiry is all colouring down now, and these little seeds of course will be eaten by the birds. That's why you shouldn't really go cutting seed heads back at this time of the year, because they are vital food for the birds. We do far too much tidying up. There is a time and a place for tidying up. Spring is a great time for tidying. You see here on the driveway, look, there's little, tiny little primroses that have seeded and grown. They're all the way along the driveway, they're spreading. So the leaves that will cover them over the course of the winter will protect them. Jack was doing a roly-poly there on the grass. Oh, I better explain a roly-poly. He was rolling over on his back. That's what we call a roly-poly, isn't it, Jack? So, by the waterside I'll leave you. It is wonderful to see the water flowing, and I think it's sort of added to the sort of calm energy down here now. That everything has a sense of direction. It's my little purple beech there. Really has struggled by the water's edge. It's not a tree that likes to be beside water. But because it's struggled, it's grown into this fabulous little shape. And it's like a little miniature tree. I've never pruned it or anything like that. But that's how it's maintained its own health. I suppose by keeping its roots not too deep. So blessings to you all. Lovely to be home. I don't know if I'll be making a video tomorrow. I may do. It depends if I'm otherwise engaged. My daughter might decide to take me out. In which case I'll have to go whether I want to or not. Blessings to you all.